Are we on? Are we off? Your public awaiting. Come on, yes, thank you. Right, thank you. Ted, could you get in a bit closer? Thank you. Right. Hello, now I've been prompted to make a video about the cost of caravanning, and we'll come to what prompted me at the end of the video. But many of you will know I recently sold my caravan, and what we're going to look at is how much a caravan costs to own, how much the holidays cost, and we're going to look at two scenarios. So we're going to look at buying a new caravan like I had and how much that costs, and then we're going to look at the example of someone who's got a much older caravan that's a lower price but also may require a bit more maintenance. So we start by looking at what I paid for my caravan and storage wise. Now when I lived in the Outer Hebrides, I had space with my house and there was no covenant preventing me from having my caravan at home. So I had my caravan at home, but I did pay a neighbour £50 a month to put it in her barn during the extremely rough weather of the winter. But generally, when I lived in the Outer Hebrides, my storage fees were zero. However, now I'm back in the southeast of England and I live in a new build house on a new build estate, and like many houses now, there is a covenant on this house preventing me from having a caravan on the drive, which means I had to find storage, and that storage cost me £720 per year, which is kind of the going rate for the southeast of England. What I'll do is I'll leave a link to the Casoa website in the description below this video. Casoa is the Storage Area Owners Association, and there are different levels of security. It's a reputable website to go to find caravan storage. So you might find it cheaper or it might be a little bit more expensive. Undercover storage is generally quite expensive. So that's the first thing to think of, is storage. Now let's talk about insurance. You generally need to insure your caravan. Now, when it's attached to the car, it should be covered by your car insurance for third party only. However, what if the caravan detaches from the car when you're on the road and causes all kinds of damage? You're not covered by your car's insurance then, because the caravan has detached itself from your car. Think about that if the caravan rolls away. Also, if someone steals your caravan, if your caravan catches fire, and all sorts of things. So generally, you really do need to get insurance for your caravan. And I was insured through Caravan Guard simply because I needed business insurance because of making money on my YouTube channel. And that premium for me, new for old, on my £20,000 caravan was £320, the last premium I paid. So a couple of £100 at least generally I would have paid if it was leisure use, but my insurance premium was £300. So you really do need insurance, especially against theft and fire, but also third party as well. So factor in the cost of your insurance as well. And the last fixed cost I want to talk about is servicing. Don't be tempted to skip your servicing for many reasons. If your caravan's under warranty, you definitely need to get it serviced and your service book stamped. But also because the service doesn't just look at things like the brakes and the tyres, but also the caravan's electrical systems, the gas systems. So you want to make sure that it's safe for you and your family. Caravan gets a lot of abuse on the road when it's traveling, and things can maybe, an electrical wire might be rubbing somewhere you can't see. So get it checked every year. But also a service, the engineer will look for water ingress, and you want to get a clean bill of health every year. And with an annual service, if there is any water ingress, it will be discovered at an early stage before it does too much damage. So it's worth investing in that service, just so that you get a damp check done, you can find any water ingress and get it nipped in the bud before it gets too expensive to repair. So the last time I had my caravan serviced at Lee Davey Caravans, a big dealership here in Kent, very reliable dealership, their current price is £285 for a single axle service. So I paid full retail for my last service, so it would have been about £285. So they are the three main fixed costs: the storage, the insurance, the servicing. Don't forget, also add on a monthly payment if you if you're buying your caravan on finance. And for me personally, those fixed costs every year came to about £1,300. But there is one more hidden cost that I want to talk about, and that is depreciation. Now, because I bought my caravan new, caravans are very much like cars when it comes to depreciation. Buy new, you lose a lot at the beginning. Buy a really good used caravan and you don't lose too much at all. Buy a classic, it can even increase in value. So I bought new, I had my caravan for 3 years, and after 3 years I sold it via a dealership, which again, I'm not going to get so much money for it, but I am going to benefit from the convenience of not having to sell it myself. And over the course of 3 years, the depreciation on my caravan amounted to £9,000. So very easy to work out. That equates to £3,000 in depreciation every year. Now you add that £3,000 to the 1,400 of my fixed costs, or was it 1,300? 1,300. So the annual cost of my caravan, buying new and keeping it for the first 3 years, was £4,300 per year. Now, when I first got my caravan, I used it loads. I used it an average of about 100 nights a year because I was doing my caravan journalism. But then, of course, when I started working full-time, went and met somebody in Belgium, so I was to and fro to Belgium seeing the other half. That declined, and the last year I had my caravan, especially because we borrowed the Adria because the bed wasn't big enough, I think I barely used it 10 nights in the last year. So over the course of its life, my caravan, I worked out, cost me £75 per night plus campsite fees. Now I like simple basic campsites like this one in Pickering in North Yorkshire, and that used to cost me £10 per night. That is my idea of heaven. So campsites can vary wildly. I loved this one that was £10 per night. So we've talked about the costs of my caravan, which was brand new, entry level. If you buy a more luxurious brand new caravan, those costs are going to be higher. But now let's go to the other side of the other end of the spectrum and talk about what if you buy an older caravan. Now, I've got a friend at work, Ellis, and he bought a 2003 Sterling Europa 500L. Now, he bought it in 2020 when prices were at their highest because of the COVID caravan boom, and he paid £4,500 for his caravan. 5 years on, we've worked out he could probably still get £3,500 for his caravan. So that's very little depreciation in those 5 years. However, his caravan did have a damp problem and a faulty fridge, which he's had to fix himself because Ellis is quite handy. I'm not handy, that's why I bought a new caravan. But Ellis is handy, and he fixed the damp himself. He said it cost him £200 in materials, and it took him about 5 days to fix up the caravan himself. Also, he's had to replace the ignition on the fridge as well. But overall, in the past 5 years, it's cost Ellis about £200 in the materials for the repairs he's done to his caravan. As for storing his caravan, Ellis is in Essex, and he's found cheaper storage than me. He's managed to find storage for his caravan for £400 a year as opposed to £720 what I was paying. So he's had a really good deal on storage. Also insurance, because it's for leisure use only like most people, and it's a cheaper caravan. He's only paying about £100 a year in storage.
Oops.
However, his servicing costs are about the same as mine. I was paying £285 with Lee Davey, and he's paying about £300 a year for a qualified mobile mechanic to come and service his caravan at the storage site. So overall, Ellis's fixed costs for his caravan, just over 20 years old, are £800 in fixed costs, and we've worked out about £1,000 in depreciation, plus the £200 in materials for the repairs. So over 5 years of ownership, it's cost him just £240 per year to own his caravan. So if we add on the £800 in fixed costs, we're talking a total of just over £1,000, £1,040 per year for owning an older caravan. Now, Ellis likes to go away with his family, and they like full facility sites with entertainment for the children, and they pay about £45 per night for their campsite in peak season in the school holidays. So they pay much more for their campsites because they want more, because they want the entertainment for the kids. So where I like to pay £10 a night for a basic campsite, they pay £45 a night for a family campsite. Now, of course, the cost per night of your caravan obviously drops with every night you use it during the year. This is why I ended up selling my caravan, because I just wasn't using it enough to justify the cost of owning it. However, I do feel that, well, I'm pretty sure there's going to be another caravan in my future, one that's fit for purpose, because I'll leave a link to the video selling my caravan below this one and explaining the reasons why I sold it. But yeah, there's definitely another caravan in my future, and I'll tell you why, and I'll tell you what prompted this video. I've got some time off in September, and I wanted to take my partner to Uist and show him the place that's very special in my heart. And without a caravan, we were looking at staying in self-catering accommodation and hotels on the way. And the price blew me away. For a start, we had to spend one night in the Isle of Skye on the road to the islands, and we need at least a king-size bed because he's very tall and there are 4 of us in the bed. And we also, of course, need somewhere fun to take the dogs. And the only hotel we could find, a halfway house on the road to the islands, was £300 per night midweek September. And similar for accommodation on the islands, because we only wanted 3 or 4 nights, we were obliged to pay for a whole week's accommodation, or the ones that we could get for a few nights were phenomenally expensive. I mean, again, at least £300 a night. And we just thought, no. The hotels in Uist, I think there's 1 or 2 hotel rooms in the entire island that have got a king-size bed, all the rest are doubles, which are too small. The camping pods, double beds, too small. And that's if you can find a place that takes the dogs. So we're not going to Uist anymore. We're renting a beach cabin on the south coast of England. 2 nights, £650. It's expensive. It looks really nice. Might even do a video, but there again, it's a holiday. I might not. But you might think, oh, well, I stayed in a Travelodge once and it was 45 quid. Why am I paying all this money for the caravan? But seriously, folks, if you look at the price of accommodation, especially in this country, it is phenomenally expensive. So suddenly, caravanning and campsite fees look really good value. But of course, I'm going to finish with the one thing that those of you who know me know that I'm going to finish with, and that is, at the end of the day, just forget everything I said, because caravanning is not about the money. You cannot buy the dreams, you can't buy that time with your family, you can't buy that time with your loved ones, you can't buy those views, that feeling, you can't buy the feeling. I think of Ellis and his family, his kids, and they are making memories. Those kids are going to carry them with the rest of their life, just like I carry the memories of my caravan holidays with my nan every summer at Whitstable, and I carry those for the rest of my life. I carry the memory of the last holiday of my father before he died, when I took him on a caravan holiday down to Switzerland. I think of all that. Don't start me off. I think of all of that. You can't put a price on that. You can't put a price on the good times with your loved ones, your dogs, your partner, your parents, your kids. It's more than money. It's just, you can't put a price on it. It's as simple as that. But if you're considering caravanning, they are the cold hard facts. That's how much it's going to cost you. So work out if you can afford it. But I had a guy here hello to the nice electrician from Aycliffe in Dover. He's looking at getting a caravan to take his family away because he's sick of paying between £5,000 and £7,000 every summer to take his family to Turkey every year. I mean, 5 to 7 grand. That puts things into perspective. So I hope you found this video interesting. I hope you found it useful. If you did, you know what to do, folks. Please give us a thumbs up, subscribe if you don't already. And it just leaves me to say, from Dougal, from Ted, and from me, thanks for tuning in. There. What do you reckon, dogs? Did you enjoy that? Did you enjoy that? Did you enjoy that? Are you missing the caravan? I know, but we got lots to do at home for the next year or so. But we will get another caravan, I promise. We will. Yeah. Are you excited? Oh, Dougal. Please contain your indifference. They never smile. Oh dear, Dougal, it's all too much, isn't it? It's too much. Is it too much? No. No, you get so negative. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh, you two are too cute. You are. Yes, you are.